Hey guys, it's your girl Alicia, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Motherland. We are now on to episode 5. I believe we are halfway through now. Kind of crazy, but here we are, and this episode is called Bellweather Season. Last episode was essentially all about the Beltane Festival and kind of what it meant to the witches. I talked a lot about it in the review for the last episode, but basically I think the biggest takeaways from that was that the spree kind of caught on that Scylla is not really staying on task to the level that she's supposed to. But again, I think about 2 episodes ago, I said that this is probably where we're going to start to see Scylla have a little bit of a crisis of conscience over whether or not she really wants to continue on this mission or if her personal feelings are going to get in the way. And of course, there is still this looming question of this secret sect that they found out has these rare seeds that they're singing, all the stuff at The Hague. That's all still in the background, but we didn't really touch on it very much last episode. So I'm hoping that with this big wedding that's happening with the Bellwethers, we're going to start to see a little bit more of the politics behind all of the army, military / spree stuff that we've been seeing so far. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. And if you haven't already, if this is your second or third or who even knows how many time visiting the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the family. You belong here. We'd love to have you. All right, let's get into this episode right now.
And Garrett will be there?
No, Tally. And how many times do I have to tell you you're supposed to meet other guys? My mother and all my fathers will be there, Rael.
How many fathers you got, girl?
College military brass.
I'm confused.
This is so that's it? Your girlfriend isn't included, so you're just gonna bail on us?
Sounds like it. Has Rael been anything but selfish since this started, though?
Come today, you're
Truthfully.
hurting yourself.
Please just go to your function without her. Because that's the reality. It's honestly super selfish that she's not even thinking about the fact that, you know, this is a wedding. You don't just leap onto a secondary invite. You know what I'm saying? That's just literally wedding etiquette 101, no matter whether you're human, witch, gnome, fairy. Like, you just don't do it.
I mean, you shouldn't screw things up with Abigail. Don't not go because of me.
God, the guilt and the manipulation. It's so textbook.
That was incredible.
It's disgusting.
Just a little piece of work I picked up. I just always want to be able to say I did. Wherever.
I just want to be able to spy on you wherever you are. That is creepy, Rael, for God's sakes. Stalker 101. You're a balloon. You don't frighten me. Give me a pin and see if you still got all that big talk. Why are we following this waitress? Is she spree? This is random. This is way too much time. She's about to burn her face off, isn't she? Yep. Looking shady as. Y'all need better, like, witchcraft detectors.
Abigail, how wonderful to see you.
Major Hulk, hi.
Is this your unit?
Yes.
No.
Mostly, yes.
Wait till you see what your Aunt Edith's done. It's just magnificent.
Meanwhile, Tally's like, I wonder if the guy that I slept with that I only knew for like 15 minutes really likes me. Oh, this wedding's exhausting already and it's only been like 3 minutes. Pass Ola. I really hope that's water. It's witchcraft, you just never know.
And so the binding is made.
Oh, that's a really easy wedding ceremony.
What's your problem, Bellweather? Whatever happened?
Garrett's engaged.
What?
High Atlantic custom. All the betrothed men wear sashes.
This is gonna be bad.
Y'all should have told her.
What are you doing here?
Although he's not exactly trying to hold back.
But tell me, we have to talk. If you...
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're gonna do this. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of arranged marriages or anything, but he should have the cojones to actually tell the truth. You know, after he was inside her and all. What is happening with that couple does that dancing? Oh my god. Can there be one couple that's not completely annoying in this crew? Like,
I will explain everything after.
no you won't. She's gonna find out the hard way. Because you were too much of a coward to open your damn mouth. No problem opening your zipper though.
Hey, Tal? Tal?
Oh, don't pretend to care, Rael. Don't you have a girlfriend to go chase? Exactly.
I heard a lot of things went wrong on my mom's last mission, and a lot of things could have been done differently.
Willa Collar was one of the bravest soldiers I knew. From what I understand, you have followed in her footsteps, trying to save a young man's life. I wish she could have been here with us today.
No!
She would be so proud of you.
Rael, she's been at this for like 30 years before you even been born. You really thought, didn't you? Children. She's like, I hope she didn't get tears on my uniform.
Bellweather, end of story.
I just want to do well. Make a name for myself.
Make my mother love me! That's what she really means.
The name is what people will remember.
Why is she turning on the water?
Remember that cousin?
You too, Shar. I need to be more like you.
She's fully dressed. Why is she turning on the bath? I'm confused. Something bad about to happen?
I'm gonna...
Spree's about to kill this girl.
10 minutes.
That was the least thorough look inside of a cubicle I've ever seen, but anyway. Either Syl actually knew you were in there, or you can go and destroy somebody else's relationship since yours sucks right now. That would be a Supergirl thing to do.
Come with me. How about I walk on the beach?
Y'all better power walk.
Actually, can we dance for a minute?
Nope, we gotta walk real fast.
I saw a balloon. I think so. I spray.
She's gonna be like, good, I hate that cow. I mean, oh. Yeah, I know this is supposed to be the part where I'm supposed to believe there's something genuine here, but I can't. Oh no, this is where she's gonna find her cousin, and it's going to be very bad, isn't it? Hello, wind shear. Why did it have to be a bellwether? I was about to say, you might need to use your actual martial arts right now, because that sounds annoying. See, now, if y'all was a proper unit... Oh, snap! Run! Run! Everybody run!
Bullets. Follow lockdown protocol. Secure the perimeter.
And close all the windows, for the love of God! These men are useless. Oh, and then here's Tally. Oh, my heart is broken, so now I'm gonna stumble into death. Come on, girl, snap out of it. Thank God at least Abigail's mother cares about Abigail. They're trying to take out all the Bellwethers. Yes, Bellweather women! You better show them some of that black girl magic. You have a nerve in my damn house. 400 years of oppression for this bull. Thanks, I got a weapon now. That's it. Stab her up! Stab her up! Oh, well, that's creative. Now, that was a wind shear. No mother should ever have to see that. That is horrible.
Do you think she's hurt? What do you think happened to her? Tal?
Exactly, Abigail. Be like, thanks for your help, guys. So glad that you weren't so wrapped up in your own crap.
Syl was gone too.
Wow, Tally. Thanks for opening your mouth. Interesting. Well, that was a juicy episode. I figured since we're kind of at the halfway mark, things will probably start to be picking up with the storyline. There's only 10 episodes in this season, correct? Yes, so at the halfway mark is kind of where I expect a show like this to start picking up the pace. We should start to see a little bit more action, a little less exposition. And this episode, I think, is probably one of the darkest in the sense of having the spree directly affect one of our main trio. Now, I'm super sad it had to be one of the Bellweathers. You know I am, sister to sister. It was sad to see. I mean, come on, Chevelle was gorgeous. It was her wedding day. Like, man, Spree is angry. Spree is pissed at some folk. But as I said before, I still have a theory. I could be completely wrong, of course, but I have a theory that Ardell has fingers in Spree. That's my gut telling me that right now. And we already know that Ardell already has some kind of beef going on with Petra Bellweather. She doesn't like the fact that Petra has been asking valid questions. And yeah, it just makes me wonder if that strike wasn't maybe a little personal, if that's, if my theory is panning out. But of course, if we take that theory aside, it was also something that if you are in war, that is a strike you want to make, right? You go to one of the big families in the big witch army community and you let them know that they're not untouchable, right? Like basically, I think they've kind of established since episode 1 that the Bellweathers, as well as a lot of the other, what do they call them? High Atlantic families. They're supposed to be kind of like these untouchable elites. And striking like this at a wedding where there would have been tons, as you saw, of high-level military personnel, that's a statement, right? That's them basically saying, oh, and by the way, we can touch you anywhere, anytime. You're not safe from us. Either way, it sucks, obviously, that it went down like this. I really do feel sorry for Abigail because, I understand that in episode 1 and episode 2, it very much was Abigail feeling like she just had to make sure the Bellweather name and carrying on the tradition was the most important thing. And she really didn't care too much about Tally or about Raelle. But we've seen as the episodes have gone forward, like, she's been trying her best to like extend the olive branch. Like with Raelle, she's been like, look, I judged you. I own that, but we're in this unit. We're only going to succeed as a trio. So let's just try to put all that aside and work together. We've seen her defend Raelle when Raelle's not there. She's clearly trying to keep this unit together. She tried to protect as best as she could. I mean, well, the situation with the boy and Tally, I do think that, yes, she could have just come out and told Tally that, look, he's engaged. But I think what she probably thought or assumed was it was going to be... Wait, how do I put this best? From what we've seen, Abigail is not as emotionally attached to the men that she has physical interactions with, right? We've seen she's had threesomes and whatever else, and I'm assuming that she probably didn't have very intense feelings for the first man that she was with either. But not everybody is the same, right? She was raised in a family where they've obviously been taught to treat men like nothing other than energy boosters and people to help them propagate the species, as it were. Whereas Tally grew up around women, grew up without men around, probably has very romanticized ideas around what love and connection and what sex means. And again, that's not a wrong thing. And even if she hadn't grown up that way, she might have just had a different viewpoint about that, right? And so I think for Tally, there was the combination of that, along with the fact that she was so underexposed to men and relationships and all that sort of thing growing up. So all that aside, all that to say, I think that Abigail assumed that Tally would be like her or be like Raelle, who obviously has had her share of relationships where she wouldn't have gotten so emotionally attached to her first encounter. And obviously it wasn't just like the two of them met up and, had sex and walked away. They obviously had the romancing ahead of time, and there clearly is a connection there because we've seen him say on several occasions that he does feel a certain type of way about her. He does care about her. The L word, I feel like, is premature. I think they're just high on this emotion they're feeling. Yes, he's probably a bit infatuated with Tally right now because she's so different than what he's used to. But is he, after one sexual encounter and 48 hours, is he really ready to throw away everything just to be with her? And I think the answer is probably no. And I think that's sadly, once Abigail realized that Tally was not going to be the way she thought she would be as far as the detachment. That's why I think she just tried to think, well, hopefully she won't see him again for a really long time and she'll forget about him, or she'll move on to someone else and it won't be a big deal. But obviously it's not going to be that easy. That all aside, there was, of course, the big thing, I think, of the episode was the Raelle-Scylla situation, and the fact that Scylla is supposedly having some issues now because she's got personal feelings involved with the Raelle situation. Before it was a mission, now obviously the lines are getting blurred. I know that the episode is very much trying to establish this idea that she's made a choice. I mean, after all, she was supposed to bring Raelle to some meeting point by 6 p.m. She actively chose not to do it. But for me, that's not an absolute clean slate situation. Like, I get where they're coming from, and it's good to see that she's realizing that sacrificing Raelle for whatever the cause is isn't going to be as easy as she thought it would be. But I always have an issue when, you know, I would have been more moved by this if I'd seen her see any kind of remorse over the other actions that she was doing, like killing all those people in the mall or killing Porter or any of those things. Like, to think that the only thing she really cares about is Raelle does not absolve her as a villain to me. Like, sorry. So I still don't think she's a right person for Raelle in any stretch. I don't think she's a good influence. I don't really think that her affection means much outside of the fact that it might save her life. Anyways, she's disappeared for now, so I feel like it's either going to turn into a situation where she's going to be captured by Spree and they might end up torturing her and doing awful things because she chose to go off mission, which will send Raelle into a tailspin of wanting to save her because she thinks that she knows Scylla so well. I know I was kind of rough in the episode because honestly, I'm not behind this relationship, and it's not to do with the fact that it's not just to do with the fact that Scylla has been a double agent and has been spying and has been lying to Raelle the entire time, but also just that I don't see it. Like, to me, if you're going to throw in this idea of, oh, I'm a villain and I've been on this path and then I meet someone and they change the way I feel, they change my viewpoint, I feel like you have to do a better job of telling that story, and thus far, I just don't feel like they've done a good job of that with these two. I actually feel like there's more possibilities with Tally, and I can't even remember his name, than with those two at this particular point. But anyway, as a side note though, it was so cool to see the two Bellweather women kicking butt, showing what true unadulterated lineage can do. They took the rage of 1,000 slaves and they made sure that those kids knew not to mess with the Bellweather again, let me tell you. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video along with me. If you did, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this and see more from this geeky face in the future, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, see ya.